tonight, as I try to win for the 8th consecutive year in the Final Four and 1, let's start it with Game 1 Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. It's number 19 Kansas at number 25 North Carolina. We're doing it inside the Kendall Marshall Center. You can watch it on ESPN. UNC -1. And a half.
So bad.
0.5.
Wait, what is the number?
0.5, 1.5. Kendall Marshall Center. I thought of Kendall Marshall. This is how he popped into my head.
Yeah.
Because there was that report announcement in recent weeks that we're going to have status reports in college basketball, right?
Well, we've had them. We're going to get more. And we're going to get them during the NCAA tournament. That's what I mean. Yeah. That's
okay. So that was the thing. Because I can remember during the NCAA tournament, it was like for a handful of days, like the whole job was trying to figure out if Kendall Marshall is going to play or not in the NCAA
tournament. Yeah,
that
was a big thing back in the day.
Yeah, you're like direct messaging Kendall Marshall and text messaging Kendall Marshall. And when I saw that report, I was like, won't have to do that ever again. They're just going to tell us from now on. I appreciate it. Shouts to Kendall Marshall. It's North Carolina -1.5 at home over your Kansas Jayhawks.
Yeah, this is a fantastic matchup. Back end of a home-and-home series here. These are the teams that are 2-3 on the all-time wins list, people. Kentucky, if you're curious, is number 1. It has a 7-win lead on Kansas for the most wins. But they combine, Carolina and Kansas, combined for 4,810 victories, 106 NCAA tournament bids, 36 Final Fours, and 10 national titles. That's just Carolina and Kansas. Good stuff. These teams obviously met in the 2022 national title game. Kansas came back from a 15-point halftime deficit. That's the biggest halftime deficit ever overcome in an NCAA championship for a winner. Kansas leads the all-time series 7-6 with Carolina, so only 13 meetings. And if you can believe it, this is the first time they have ever played in Chapel Hill. It'll go down for the first time ever tonight. I'm really excited for this. Kansas, by the way, is 16-1, folks. Kansas is 16-1 against the ACC since 2012. 4 of those 16 wins have come against the Tar Heels. Matchup-wise in this game, how does Seth Trimble match up with Darryn Peterson? Seth Trimble, veteran player, physical, athletic, going against Peterson. Okay, go ahead.
Not well.
Okay, so over-under. No, not even over-under. If it's not well, how many points for Darryn Peterson tonight?
Tonight will be the night folks in Chapel Hill look back on for decades. And they'll say, you remember that? Decades, perhaps centuries, but I don't know that we got centuries left. I'm not sure we have decades left. Tonight will be the night North Carolina fans look back on for days. And they'll say things like, remember, it was November 7th, 2025. And that was the night Darryn Peterson came into the Dean Smith Center and dropped 31 points on North Carolina.
31.
In Kansas, his upset victory over UNC. They will call it, when we watch the documentary someday, they'll say that was the night Darryn Peterson's stardom arrived. That's what we're doing tonight. We're watching Darryn Peterson's star arrive. I mean, I'm going to be watching the Veterans Classic, but
yes, you will.
But you might be watching. You're probably going to have multiple screens.
I'm going to be going multiple screens up here in the office.
That's right.
That's for sure going to be happening.
Darryn Peterson's stardom arrives. That happens tonight. It happens in Chapel Hill. 31
yes,
points.
Generally, it's like this. That's a big thing on the table. Chat's ahead of me as well. If not Seth Trimble, will we see Caleb Wilson go head-to-head with Darryn Peterson and try and shut him down? I think that's very much on the table, and it's going to be very awesome and interesting to see just how Peterson is schemed up against. And is this going to be a game where he needs to try and carry Kansas to a win? Floyd Badunga versus Henry Visar. That's a good big man matchup as well. Caleb Wilson's coming off a team-high 22 earlier in the week against Central Arkansas. Badunga, by the way, in his own right, had a nice game, 23 points against Green Bay, 6 rebounds, 3 blocks. Carolina, a much different kind of opponent. I want to see Wilson on a big stage here. Obviously, Peterson's gotten plenty more run. I know Carolina fans are very in, as I think they have a right to be, on the notion that Caleb Wilson will be one of the 5 best freshmen in the country this season. I think that's a scenario that's on the table, but it also speaks to the loaded freshman class that maybe he'll cozily find himself somewhere in the top 10, but not top 5. But you want to make a big statement. Can you get it done at home? Carolina has lost 9 of its last 10 games against ranked opponents. Keep that in mind. but they're in the midst of something they haven't done in a long time. Right now, Carolina is going to start its season with 5 consecutive home games. That hasn't happened. Shouts to our CBS Sports research team. Carolina has not started a season with 5 straight home games since 1919. That long, more than 100 years. One more player to keep an eye on. Luka Bogovac. He is 22 years old from Montenegro, had 10 points, 5 assists, 2 steals off the bench. Really talented player. What kind of role does he play in this? And if he can step in and be an impactful guy, like, Peterson, a really good defender. Where's he going to be matched up on? Awesome game all around. I will lean into my preseason projection that Kansas is a top 10 team and Carolina is not. Carolina has it at home, but I will say Kansas wins straight up. I
also have Kansas winning straight up. It's a classic wrong team favored situation.
It's a
classic wrong team favored situation in Chapel Hill. Kansas wins straight up, and Darryn Peterson finishes with exactly 31 points.
I'll say Peterson finishes with
24.
Wrong. Yeah, if I ask you to say it, I'll say 24.
It's exactly
how many for Caleb Wilson? I'll say Caleb at
16.
I'll say 18 for Caleb and 24 for Peterson.
I got 16 and 31.
Okay.
16 and 31. Now let's see what Terry Rozier does with those player props. It's number 15 Alabama at number 5 St. John's. We're doing this inside Zuby Ejiofor Arena.
No. What? He's on the team.
Huh? Yeah, but preseason Big East Player of the Year and the one guy who decided to stick it out with Rick.
Okay. I'll allow it.
I'll allow it. I wanted to honor the one man who was loyal to Rick Patino. That's Zuby Ejiofor. All right? You can watch it on FS1. It's St. John's minus 6.5.
The line's already out.
What do you feel more comfortable with? What makes you more uncomfortable? Giving the Kings alma mater 33.5 points or Nate Oates 6.5? Tough.
That's tough. By the way, though, this line is already out. Typically, when we do a Friday Final Four and 1 for Saturday games, we don't have the line, but they're out, huh?
I saw it. I saw that.
This isn't some like shady offshore liners.
I got that from Damon Jones.
I got
Damon Jones sent that to me.
Okay.
Damon Jones told me it was 6.5. He texted me.
Gosh. I got my game. It's going to be on Friday. We'll get to that in a second for the N1. That's tonight, but I got it through FanDuel. So,
I got mine.
Nosh is saying in the private chat, said it is real line. He checked it. He's all over it. 6.5. I
feel like you're questioning me in the opening week of the season.
And opening week is not relevant to the situation. This has track meet potential. First to 85 GP. Let's go. Let's have a real offensive firepower game here. St. John's has the athletes to match Alabama. Front court edge, St. John's. Back court edge, theoretically should be Alabama, I would think. LeBaron Philon. Might see some Mosiah Sellers. Might see some Joseph Sannon guarding him. I do not expect Ian Jackson to be matched up on LeBaron Philon, but we'll see. Stranger things have happened. In the front court, you've got Zuby probably switching off between Aiden Sherrill, Taylor Bowen for Alabama. Fun game. I almost feel like Bryce Hopkins is going to be X-factor difference maker here. Interested to see his role in contributions in this one. 6.5. I hate it when we start off and we're not in agreement because we disagree on the Lowell UConn game. So we got some differences, but I think we're going to be the same here. 6.5 is just too many, I think. Although maybe I'm wrong. GP's got St. John's number 1, yes. Ride or die, down with the ship, the whole deal. If it's 6.5, give me Bama to cover.
First off, I'm ride or die with St. John's. I'm laying the 6.5.
Oh my God!
Okay. I wouldn't be able to look myself in the mirror if I didn't lay the 6.5 here.
Okay.
I wouldn't be able to look myself in the mirror. All right. So I'm laying the 6.5. But did you see or hear or read the quotes from Rick's interview with Boomer and Gio yesterday morning?
Yes. He had some stuff to say about Zoran Mamdani. I saw that. Yes.
No, not that. That's not what I mean. you thought I brought this up to
That's
talk
what got aggregated.
So People are asking me, like, they're like, GP, you gonna ride the bus to the studio now for free? I said, I don't think. I'm probably just gonna keep walking to the studio. I did not bring this up to bring up Mom Donnie, for crying out loud.
Yes, you did. The agenda has been fulfilled.
He said two things that were interesting. He said lots of things that were interesting, but there are two things that I made note of. One, it was a little bit like, hey, I saw you guys get their Big East championship rings, and they they looked like really excited, like they were genuinely like fired up to get like for a championship. And the implication was like, I didn't know they felt that way or cared that much, given that they're all now making, millions of dollars, or lots of them are making millions of dollars. And Rick sort of acknowledged we did spend $10 million roughly on our roster. That's not the most in the country, but we spent a lot of money. And yes, I have some millionaires, but they still want to win. Competitors are competitors. And I with all due respect to everybody involved here, I just have never quite understood why people are skeptical that college players could still care if they have money in their checking account, even like millions of dollars in their checking account, because our entire sports system is built on us watching multimillionaires compete at a high level. In the NBA, they're all rich. In the NFL, they're all rich. In the Major League Baseball, I mean, all is a big word, but you get the point. And they still compete like crazy. Like Shohei has a lot of money. He wanted to win the World Series. And so Rick just sort of hammered down on that point. My guys still want to win. They're competitors, even if they've got lots of money. Secondly, and I thought this was interesting, just given what has been going on with the Grizzlies and John Morant, but he said the one way he coaches differently than he used to, since at Kentucky, Louisville, he would call out players in front of their team in the locker room, in front of their teammates. And he says, you just can't do that anymore, or at least I don't do it anymore. He said, because players embarrass too easily. It's not because they're not tough, but I have noticed as I've continued to coach, if I call them out in front of their teammates, it can shut down a little bit. But if I pull them into an office and show them the exact same stuff and tell them the exact same things, it resonates a little better. What do you make of all that?
I think there's a lot of truth to what Rick is laying out there. I'm not in practices on a weekly basis, but I do get to dip into practices here and there. And just anecdotally, having been in practices, say the past 2-3 years versus 2010 to 2015, it does feel a little different. And yeah, the idea that, there's no reason why we shouldn't have a certain level of expectation given how much money a lot of these players are making. And the fact that, on a very basic level, like a lot of these players, even though they're young, they are professional. The general points Patino was making there were definitely very interesting. Those did not get aggregated, though. That's not what came across my timeline. That's not what was shared. It was Patino joking about Mom Donnie and everything's free in New York now. Yeah.
In the spirit of giving credit where credit is due, I read those. Adam Zagoria aggregated them and pushed them out there, and that's where I pulled the quotes. Game 4. Shouts to Zags. Game 4, Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern. It's number 14 Arkansas at number 22 Michigan State inside the Cleave Center. Shouts to Mateen. You can watch it on Fox. Michigan State -1.5. This should be a fun one.
It should be a fun one. I'm looking forward to it. And I've got a trivia time for you.
Okay, let's go.
This is only the third meeting ever between Arkansas and Michigan State. When was the most recent meeting, GP? And Arkansas, if you get it within 3 years on either side, I'll give you it'll count as correct. Got to be within 3 years, though.
Yeah, that's no problem. The last
time, the third meeting ever.
Yeah, I know. The last one, that's what you're asking me. When was the most recent one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was obviously 1994 NCAA tournament.
Not in the tournament, but that's a right answer there. It was 1995.
Oh, wow.
November 8th. The number one movie in the country, Toy Story.
Yep.
You want to know what the number one song was?
In 1995?
Hold on.
Hold on.
Well, there's two answers here. What do you think the number one song was in the country in November of 95?
You know what I hope it was? They come to snuff the rooster.
That was not on the top of the Billboard Top 100, but I'm getting there.
Okay.
It was Fantasy by Mariah Carey. Okay.
Yeah, that was good too.
However, as fate would have it, as the scripture once foretold,
okay,
The number one song on alternative rock radio the last time Arkansas and Michigan State played?
The world is a vampire sent to drain.
How about that? Now, if there's some newbies listening to the pod, you don't get this. This is very inside the show. But the fact that this was the song, that's incredible. Just incredible.
Sometimes I don't even know how this happens. I'll just be scrolling through my phone. Next thing you know, I'm watching a Billy Corgan interview. I have watched an unusual number of Billy Corgan interviews lately. What do you think's going on with me?
Don't make me answer that. I don't know. Despite all your rage,
Just around the cage.
Crazy stuff there. Really. I couldn't believe my eye. I was like, how many times have these schools played? I was like, it's got to be 5 or 6. No, it's only 2. Okay, 95. What was the number one song on alternative rock radio? Amazing stuff. Love it. Great stuff. Great stuff. Okay, let's pick the game here. I believe this is a home and home year one. Michigan State gets the game at home. I think it's fair to say Arkansas on the whole is more talented. It's viewed as the more talented team.
Yeah.
You got Malik Thomas, Darius Acuff that are going to be stepping up in this spot. A big spot here. Cohen Carr ready for I wouldn't say breakout year because he's been a really good player overall, GP, but maybe he's going to potentially ascend even more than the preseason accolades that he was or wasn't receiving overall. Sparty on its home floor. What was the line? What did you say the line?
1.5. Spartans favored inside the Mateen-Cleave Center.
I will say, give me. I could come to regret this. Arkansas fans think I hate their school. I obviously
think I hate their school too.
I will take the Hogs. I'm going to call the Hogs on this one on the road. I will take Arkansas to go in. Malik Thomas to have a tremendous game. DJ Wagner to show up and a competitive one. Like I think that. I'll guess this is the best game of the weekend, start to finish. The most enjoyable 40-minute watch. That's my guess, and I'll take Calipari to get it done.
I had one Arkansas fan in the top 25 and one tell me they have never followed me on Twitter, and this is exactly why they would never follow me on Twitter, because there's no way in the world, no way that there are 19 better teams in the country than Arkansas. All right.
That same person has found me, I think.
I am embarrassing myself every day.
Well, that's got nothing to do with Arkansas.
I know. It's totally different reasons. It's totally different stuff. But yeah, Arkansas fans think I hate their team as well. I don't. I think this really just comes down to, are you a building truster or not?
Oh, yes. The old building truster.
Are you a building truster or not? You answer that question. Are you a building truster?
No, we've gone over this. No, I actually, it's more about the human beings involved in the competition than the inanimate objects that house these sporting competitions. I've always maintained that, and I always will.
Amateur analysis.
Yeah.
Amateur analysis. No, there are certain buildings that can be trusted. All right. The Dean Smith Center. Typically, yes, but not with Darryn Peterson. You got to take everything into account. You can trust the Dean Smith Center in most situations, but not on a Friday night when Darryn Peterson's lurking. Okay. All right.
No, you're changing the rules. I won't allow it. You either trust the building or you don't. That's period. It's either you trust it or you don't trust it.
No, buildings.
Yes.
Buildings are just like humans. Buildings are just like humans.
They're actually very much not.
No,
they're not.
No,
they don't eat. They don't breathe. They don't have a consciousness. They don't have legs. They don't have arms. They don't have blood. Buildings are not like humans whatsoever, Parrish.
I've seen
you get on this road and suddenly you're like a kid lost in the forest.
No.
You don't know where you are.
Okay. In spite of all that technically correct stuff you pointed out, buildings are a lot like humans in this way. You can trust a building. You can trust a building just like you can trust a human. But sometimes humans put themselves in bad situations. I'm just going to go down to the hotel bar and have a drink, right? Like, just stay in your room. Every once in a while, humans put themselves in bad situations, and that's when bad stuff happens. Buildings also can put themselves in bad situations. A normal Friday night for the Dean Smith Center, I trust it.
Someone
No
in the
big
chat
deal.
goes, "If buildings aren't humans, why do they have names?" Fair enough. Well,
See? See?
well played.
See?
Well played, Papa Dragon 568.
See? Now, on a normal Friday night, Dean Smith Center says, "Hey, GP, I'm going out tonight." I'm like, "Go have a good time. I trust you." But then it's like, "Hey, GP, I'm going out tonight, and I'm going to the same place Darryn Peterson is." Uh-oh, you put yourself in a bad situation. I don't know if I can trust you anymore.
Pick the game.
I've already done it. I can't trust the Dean Smith Center when Darryn Peterson is hanging around the bar. But can I trust the Breslin Center? Yes.
Yeah.
Almost, regardless of the circumstances. We're taking Michigan State. We're laying the 1.5.
Arkansas fans, that's what he thinks of Malik Thomas and Darius Acuff Jr., just so you know.
They're not Darryn Peterson. They're not. That's all. That is the only thing you can. That's the only thing you can draw from what I just said is that I don't believe Arkansas has Darryn Peterson.
Okay. Those are GP's okay.
Put Darryn Peterson on Arkansas. Send him to the Breslin Center. I'll reevaluate that situation.